Welcome back to the social media program. I'm your host, Mikey. Today is a thought that I just recently heard, and it's called whataboyisms. And this is where social media is. It's finally an explanation to what a creator will go through in order to accommodate other people. And for myself, being 15 years into this journey, I realized just recently that I have been trapped in the whataboutisms and that I'm trying to always accommodate because of that. So let's explain what that is and then some thoughts about that as well. Whataboutisms is when somebody is trying to inject into a comment of, okay, your stuff was okay, but what about me? Because it doesn't always apply. So it's one of those ones where somebody could just be coming in as a third party and just injecting a comment just to create the fuss. Other things is that they have an issue with what you've talked about and that what you have shared isn't relevant for them and they want alternatives. So for myself, if I, for example, do a crochet scarf, I may have a knitter come along and say, I want that design. What is the pattern in knitting? And then I will get that in reverse as well. So that's a whataboutism. It's like, okay, you created something, but I'm not into that skill. What else do you have that is going to match that so I'm not left out? One of the things that I stopped doing years ago, it was doing giveaways to the general public. So that is just something I had to finish because I was trapped, and now that I understand it, is the whataboutisms. Even though the giveaways are random, people would then email and say, well, what about me? Why didn't I win? Because it was random. And so people really think that the world revolves around them. In particular, when you as a creator have to look at the world as a bubble and that everybody is to participate within the bubble. So I have found with myself is that I've had to accommodate a lot of things. If I do a crochet diagram, where are the written words? You should be providing that. If I do a right-handed video, where is the left-handed video? This video does not have closed captioning. Where is the closed captioning for that? And so as a creator, you can get inundated with all of these people that are injecting what they need from you in order to create content. And by the time you have the wish list of everybody on top of you, you need an entire team in order to accommodate. So you have to pick and choose saying, you know what, this video was featuring a certain product, for example, Red Heart Super Saver. Somebody will come along and say, well, that's not sold in my area. What else do you got? That's up to them to figure that out. Because they live in their region, they can look up the stats online and they can be able to substitute. But what they're doing is that they're putting their problem on top of you in order to solve it for them. So you have to have people to meet you halfway in order to accommodate to that. So for example, one person really wants me to do tatting tutorials. I don't know how to tat. So for me to go and learn it and then to go teach it, that's a whataboutism. Why don't you just find another host that is already doing that so that you can do that? And I may get the compliment, say, you're a great host. I can easily follow you. Please learn this new skill and teach me. You know what, there's other people that can do that a lot better than I can. Loom knitting is a great example. I dabble in it, but I'm not great at it. So another host of loom knitting is great. Knitting, I'm dabbling in it. So another host is good. So you have to understand is that you want to be accommodating to many people, but you can get trapped into trying to accommodate the very few that are asking you to do something because what you're providing to them is just not enough. In a global platform such as this, it's very easy to get trapped into products that are not available throughout the world. So for example, the US will have products that Canada here does not have, and vice versa, and also in the UK, Australia, India, and the rest of it. So you will get people in the different countries that will come after you and say, okay, your product was nice, but I can't get access to it. Can you substitute and give me the substitute information? And the reality is I can't, because I don't live there. I don't understand what they have access to and what their differences of the materials and stuff. So they can either take the information that they've been taught and then just be able to substitute with what they have access to. But unfortunately, they're the ones that make the most mess when it comes to social media of saying, okay, you as a creator have forgotten me. And then they start throwing out words like exclusive and those words to make sure that you're aware that you're excluding them from being able to participate because you're using a product that is not available within their region. So you have to understand is that you want to accommodate as many people as possible, but there are limitations, and people literally have to do their own homework in order to figure that out. I also find with charity, charity is something that I handle personally. The yarn that I give away to my local people here, I do it through different organizations, and I do it through certain people so that I can get there. And so then people say, well, what about me? I need charity for this and I need charity for that. Well, what about you? You know, you're just one person as a creator. You cannot solve the world as one creator, especially when you don't have the resources, the reach, and basically the team to handle that. There are certain people that want me to do certain things that require a whole team of people to do it, but I want to keep our business small. I learned very early on in my life, and through a serious mistake, my parents said bigger, 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 and I'm like, yeah, I want to be this bigger, and I want to make $1 million, and I want this and that. The reality is that when you keep a team tight and small, it is the better way to go. But then you have to understand is that your limitation of what you're able to provide has to be limited. So now that I understand whataboutisms, it's actually going to change my trajectory and say, you know what they're putting onto me is really their issue. And it's like, I have provided you the content. Do what you need to do with that. But if you needed something specific on learning how to lay bricks for construction or other things, I'm not that person. Go find somebody else to do it. And it is not up to me as a creator to be able to find them resource to be able to redirect them to as well. So you're online. People have access to the search. They have access to all your videos, Facebook and everything. They can do the homework if they're most interested in. Finally, I'll leave you with one last thing, is that I get people that will message me and say, I need something now. And I will literally get an email about 1 to 2 months later, say, thanks for the information, I'll check it out. And yet in the email they presented to me is like, now. And then they email me 2 months later, and I feel seriously bad that I answered them 2 days after their email arrived because I'm working in a queue system. So I'm like, oh my God. So their issue that they provided to me is like now was never reality. So you have to make sure as a creator that you are not getting trapped into people's wish lists and to things that to accommodate to them. You have to keep on schedule. There are people that ask me to design things and they want videos like, you have to work in queue. I work in queue and I work ahead and I have all my plans already done. So if I can accommodate to what they're asking for, great. And if I can't, no is a complete sentence, as a good friend once told me. So that's it for now. And just think about that. Whataboutisms? Leave a comment. How do you feel?